sound on to
Oh,
all
there
of
we
us.
On the record?
We're on.
All right. I'd like to call to
Hello,
order
everyone.
the Monday, September 8th, 2025 Fair Rent Commission hearing. Beginning, I would ask the approval of the minutes from the February 10th, 2025 meeting.
Motion for approving the minutes?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
I abstain.
Okay, vote is 3-0 with one abstention, no opposition. New business, there is a case number 2025-01. It's a Praveen Kumar Reddy Vamula. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I apologize. It's Mr. Vamula, correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Vamula is participating by Zoom remotely. Do we have anybody from the respondent here today? We do not. So, Mr. Vamula, if I could just address this, my understanding from the packet that we received from, that was submitted to the town, which in turn was forwarded to us, I want to assure you that the commissioners here present today have reviewed it and reviewed it in detail. My understanding is that, just one second, my understanding is that your request of the Fair Rent Commission is that you're seeking a reimbursement of the additional amount of $497 per month charged during your 3-month stay of a month-to-month lease. Is that correct? That's part of
That's
your
right.
claim? And in addition to that, you're seeking reimbursement of a $457 cleaning fee. Is that correct?
That's right.
And as well as you're seeking compensation for travel and disruption-related expenses, which total approximately $1,700. Is that accurate?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. Mr. Vamula, have you had an opportunity to ever watch or review any of the prior recordings of our hearings for the Fair Rent Commission?
I have not, but I have read some online blogs on Reddit, like how the panel discussion goes, so thought I could get some help doing this, so.
Yeah, certainly. So I just wanted to explain by way of background. Fair Rent Commission is a creature created by state statute under the state of Connecticut, giving a municipality the authority to establish a Fair Rent Commission for this town. The town of Rocky Hill has chosen to do so, and we've been quite successful in having a Fair Rent Commission for this town for quite some time. Fair Rent Commissions typically deal with, there's a limited scope by statute in which they address certain claims. A commission finds, for example, of a rental housing or situation does not meet local or state health code or safety requirements for housing. It deals whether there's a rent being charged is viewed as being excessive to the point of being harsh and unconscionable. And what they do is they do look at factors including rents for comparable units, amount and frequency of rent increases, sanitary conditions, the number of bathtubs or showers, toilets and sinks, services rendered, furnishings and furniture, bedroom size, utility availability, tenant damage, and the like. So what they're doing is our commission is designed to address complaints where you have a health or safety code violation, such that, in the past we've had some, for example, we had complaints of mold in an apartment, and while that was being addressed, there was complaints lodged against the landlord for charging excessive rent during that period in which a portion or all of that apartment was not being able to be leased or rented. We tend to look at those complaints, and that's within the scope of our authority. Based on what I've reviewed thus far, it appears that your claim is essentially an overchargement fee, which amounts to basically a breach of contract as well as some consequential damages you may have suffered as a result of you going back and forth and having to address whether you had an extended lease or not and coming back from India. Is that correct?
That's right. So like, yeah, I was like kind of treated unfairly because I planned like for my lease extension, I planned way ahead, like probably in December 2024. That's when I got the lease renewal process started on. They usually sent out the system generated ones, and then probably the process goes on from there. And I had like everything pre-planned altogether. When I got the document, the system generated document, probably like, I thought like the 3 months would be a fair thing because that's around $2,000 per month, I think so. But uh, I know like I won't be staying in Connecticut. I have like some additional financial hardship, so I have to like start migrating because I have to bring my family as well. So I thought of like looking, because and also I have to relocate for my job. So despite everything I planned properly in December, they were, it feels like they didn't do a proper communication on their end as well. So
Okay.
yeah, that is why like I have to like yeah, I don't know.
Totally understand, and we read your packet, and I understand, I think I pretty much, your explanation is consistent with my understanding and review of your pack and your submission. I do feel for you, but I want to let you know that this commission has a limited scope of authority and review. And what you have here is essentially an overpayment or breach of contract with regard to rent, and some other claims there. Our commission does not have the authority to rule on that. It's not to say that you don't have a valid claim. It's just that you went to the wrong place for the claim. So in other words, we're the Fair Rent Commission. We will deal with, health code violations or excessive charges of rent, increases in rent and we take a look at the conditions of the apartment. Is it appropriate to have an increase of rent based on the conditions of the apartment, the size of the apartment, things like of that nature that I described earlier in the hearing. What I think, based on what I've read from your complaint, I'm not passing on the merits of your complaint. I'm not saying that you have a valid or invalid claim. I'm just thinking that I believe that the more appropriate forum for it to be heard would be landlord-tenant court with the Connecticut Superior Court, as opposed to a Fair Rent Commission that's in town here. So again, it's not something that I believe that, to say that your claim's invalid. I understand many of the claims that you've raised here. It's just I think you showed up to the wrong, or filed it with the wrong commission. I think you would need, if you want to pursue these claims, I would suggest that you either try to resolve them with the landlord itself, or what I would suggest to you is if that's not something that is to your liking or not feasible, I would suggest you file a claim with the landlord-tenant court with the Connecticut Superior Court.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll see. I'll talk to Kayla. I think she's the one who helped me. In filling up this form and like
Yeah, and then they may be able to give you some additional detail. She's here today, but it's not that she can't necessarily give you any advice in terms of how to file or what to do necessarily. It's the town would not assist in that regard. That would be something that you either have to file as a pro se plaintiff, meaning an unrepresented party in the Connecticut Superior Court, or you would hire an attorney to do that. You could do it either way, but I don't know that that our town staff can assist you with doing that, but they certainly can give you at least point you in the right direction. And I'll speak to her offline about where to look to see if you want to pursue this. But I'd also encourage you, I know that there appears to be, from some of the correspondence we received, some discussion back and forth between you and the landlord about a possible resolution. I would urge you to continue to try to resolve that in that regard. But if that does not work out, or if not to your liking, I would suggest you pursue other avenues, and that would be with the landlord-tenant court.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get any response from the landlord because I was back in India. Like I made all the arrangements. I went to India. I was back over there trying to communicate with him, and there was no response, and that is why I had to like travel back because the lease, they mentioned the lease already expired, and I was forced to move on to month. So in order to like they weren't communicating properly on the phone or through the emails. I kept following up by creating a request in their portal system, nothing from there. And I don't, with all these things, I had to cut short my thing and stay in India and then, travel back immediately in order to resolve this one because I don't want to overpay or I don't want to overstay or, all those things. Keeping in mind, I had to like, come back. So, but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
I see no with them communicating, but I'll try one more time, like emailing them.
yeah, I seem to,
If
again, I don't dispute any of your claim, and it seemed to be, it's pretty, your packet was well thought out, and your papers were in order, so I follow your logic in that regard. I do understand that there was an offer made without commenting on that offer, but I think that there was some correspondence that came in today, if not Friday. I'm not sure if you've had the opportunity to look at it, but you could speak with Kelly offline to talk about what may have come in. It seemed to be an indication that there was an offer made, at least partial, not necessarily everything that you wanted, but a partial offer for the overpayment amount that they recognize that they're willing to resolve it for. Now, in terms of your travel disruption, related expenses, or cleaning fee, that I don't know that that was in there, but that's something I would suggest you speak offline about. And but again, it does not. I'm not trying to say that you don't have a claim, nor am I saying that you have a valid claim. I'm not passing the merits of it. It's something that you just have to file with the Superior Court, not with us.
And the second court that he could pursue, especially the unrelated charges directly to the lease, the secondary charges for your unspecified travel, et cetera, that might be more the purveyance of the small claims court after you do resolve your lease and lease dispute.
Okay.
Good point. Okay. So with that in mind, if we have to formalize what we're going to do, unless you're going to withdraw the claim, we would have to formalize with the committee. Well, let me ask you, Adam, are you willing to withdraw the claim at this point, at least with respect to the Fair Rent Commission?
Sure, but before that, can I get some time? I just want to communicate the last email that I received, I think last Friday, regarding what was being sent out from the landlord end. If they are going to agree for that, I won't say like I negotiate exactly the same what I had in the claim, but at least like if they come to an agreement, definitely I'll withdraw the claim.
Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say is there's two ways we could go about it. Is that I think I'd explained to you that your claims,
Right.
while certainly could be valid, it's just not within the scope of the Fair Rent Commission. Fair Rent Commission, though, to move the agenda forward, if you're not going to withdraw it, we'd entertain a vote, a motion to dismiss it without a finding, of course, as to the merits of the claim, but just that it's outside the scope of our jurisdiction.
So I move to dismiss this claim, table it for this particular.
Just
I
give it a
think he
chance.
withdrew.
Yeah. All right, so do you understand, Mr. Vamula, what exactly, where we're going with this?
Yes, yes, yeah. So, yeah, I can withdraw the claim because I know like the panel. I think I got redirected to a different panel instead of like I'll see if I can. If I don't get any resolution from the landlord, I'll see if I can file the claim with the Superior Court. I
Superior
think that's
Court,
what
yeah,
you
so
meant.
you'd be looking for the landlord-tenant division and
Yeah.
or the small claims division for some of the excess claims that you may have, if you're not able to resolve those offline to your liking. But I think, I also want to indicate is that the commission members have seen some correspondence from the landlord's representatives indicating that a settlement offer has been made, so I would urge you to speak with our town staff about that offline after this hearing or tomorrow.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay, so Hearing nothing, I don't think a vote's necessary. I think, Mr. Hamula, if you're in agreement that you've withdrawn the claim from this commission, that you're gonna pursue it in another venue and forum. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. Hearing any other business? Hearing none, we don't have any other thing in business. I'll entertain a motion to
I move to adjourn.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Best of
Thank
luck,
you.
Mr. Vamula.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.